She's been staring at her phone for 20 minutes, waiting for one message. He hasn't texted back. He probably won't. And somehow, that's exactly the problem. Every woman says she wants a man who communicates, who opens up, who shows his feelings. But who does she actually fall for? Stay, because the answer is older than psychology itself. There's a gap most people never talk about between what a woman says she wants and what actually makes her heart race. This isn't about being mysterious. It's not a trick. It's about something far more fundamental, the psychology of desire itself. Arthur Schopenhauer, writing in the 1800s, made a claim so simple it was almost offensive. All desire is rooted in lack. If you have it, you don't want it. Apply this to attraction. The man who constantly seeks validation from a woman is essentially showing her an empty glass. And empty glasses don't inspire desire. They inspire pity. Here is the cruel irony. The more a man chases, the more she retreats. The moment he stops, something shifts. Her attention follows him. Most men have experienced this. You care too much, and it shows. And the moment it shows, the dynamic changes. Not because she's cruel, because desire requires mystery. Schopenhauer put it plainly. We desire most what we cannot fully possess. Accessibility kills mystery, and mystery is the oxygen of desire. Think of it like gravity. Two objects, one exerts a pull, the other orbits. The moment that pull disappears, the orbit collapses. She drifts. She follows the stronger field. But here's the nuance everyone misses. This is not about being cold or emotionally unavailable. It's about where you live on this spectrum. Not the edges, the center. The man who is genuinely absorbed in his own world doesn't perform unavailability. He simply has somewhere more important to be. And that is felt instantly. 2,500 years ago, a group of philosophers made a radical claim that the only thing a man truly controls is his own mind. Everything else is noise. The Stoics, from the Greek word stoa, the painted porch where they gathered, didn't preach withdrawal from the world. They preached mastery within it. They called it apatheia, not indifference, not numbness, but the freedom from being ruled by your emotions. You feel, but you choose your response. This is not suppression. The Stoic doesn't kill his emotions. He processes them, and then acts from reason, not from pain. There is a vast difference. Diogenes of Sinope rejected everything society told him to want. Wealth, status, the approval of crowds. He lived in a barrel in the marketplace, by choice. When Alexander the Great, the most powerful man alive, stood before him and offered him anything he wished, Diogenes looked up and said, "Stop blocking my sunlight." Alexander reportedly said afterward, "If I were not Alexander, I would wish to be Diogenes. That is the power of a man who needs nothing from you." Modern Diogenes don't live in barrels, but they share one trait. They cannot be bought, cannot be flattered into saying yes. Their self-worth is non-negotiable. The philosopher Einzelgänger calls this the lone wolf archetype. Not the man who rejects people, but the man who doesn't require their validation to feel complete. There is a critical distinction. Being emotionally closed is a wall, built from fear. Being internally stable is a foundation, built from work. One repels, the other attracts. Marcus Aurelius ruled the largest empire in human history, led armies into battle, buried 2 of his children. And still, he wrote his meditations with the calm of a monk. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present, because the man who is fully present has no anxiety about whether she texted back. He is here, doing the work, being the work. Now we arrive at the mechanics, the actual formula, and it is more precise than most people are comfortable admitting. Schopenhauer observed that desire flows toward lack. But when the man has no visible lack, no desperation, no hunger for approval, desire has nowhere to flow from him, so it flows toward her instead. His fullness, his completeness, creates a vacuum on her side, and nature abhors a vacuum. This is why the man who is deeply absorbed in his own mission, in his art, his work, his purpose, is naturally compelling. He's not trying to impress her. He's already somewhere she wants to go. Think of it as energetic. Every man has a finite amount of emotional energy. The man who leaks it outward, seeking approval, is running on empty. The man who contains it is running on full. And women feel this immediately, not as a thought, as a sensation. Something in them registers. This man doesn't need me to feel okay, and something responds to that. There's a type of eye contact that gives this away immediately. The man who needs her approval. His eyes ask a question. The man who doesn't. His eyes simply observe, and the difference is felt before a single word is spoken. Here is the uncomfortable math. Attraction and neediness exist on opposite ends of a scale. The heavier one side, the lighter the other. This is not philosophy. This is physics. You have seen this. Two men. One tries hard to impress. One simply is. You already know which one she remembers by the end of the night. He doesn't pull her closer. He simply has enough gravity. His life, his work, his values, his direction creates a field. And fields pull without any effort. He didn't study attraction. He didn't read pickup lines. He simply stopped outsourcing his sense of worth to other people. And, in doing so, became someone worth orbiting. This is not a performance. You cannot fake self-sufficiency the way you can fake a text message. It is earned. It is built. Day by day, choice by choice. Now for the twist, the one no one talks about. Because it changes everything, including what you should actually be working on. The woman who is most drawn to the emotionally unavailable man is often carrying her own absence of center, her own lack of internal stability. She sees in him what she hasn't built in herself. This is not his power over her. It is her unconscious recognition of a quality she wants to develop. He is not a destination. He is a direction. Healthy attraction is not one person orbiting another indefinitely. It is two people, both finding their center and choosing to share space from a place of wholeness. Not need, not rescue, choice. So the real work is not learning how to seem unavailable. It is building something real inside yourself, something that would exist and matter even if no one ever noticed. Marcus Aurelius. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Not cold, clear. He didn't become magnetic by learning rules. He became magnetic by becoming himself, fully, completely, without apology. Self-mastery leads to inner fullness. Inner fullness creates natural gravity. Natural gravity generates real attraction, not performance, not strategy, architecture, not cold, not closed, not unavailable, whole. And if that's where you're headed, you already understand the difference. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Not, how do I seem less available? But, what are you actually building inside yourself right now? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you're working on, what your version of the center looks like. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because the next video goes deeper into the philosophy of self-mastery. See you there.